Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Sreemanti and I'm currently working as an ML engineer. Today I'm going to build an awesome project, and that is very beginner friendly and you can easily add to your resume. And we are going to use Google's Gemini to create a PowerPoint generator. Now here comes the best part. Google just made 19,500 rupees worth of AI tools completely free for Indian students. College students in India can now access Gemini 2.5 Pro, VEO 3 for video generation, deep research, notebook LM, 2 terabytes of Google Drive storage, all of it free for 1 year. There's no cash, there's no card, just learning and building with the best AI tools available. So keeping that in mind, today I'm going to use Google Colab, and you don't need any setup on your desktop or anything. You just need to open Google, sign in with your account and give your institute name, and maybe they'll ask for confirmation of the institute email ID, and that's it. They are also giving Google Colab Pro for 1 year, which is like awesome because you can access GPU for longer durations. You can access so many like Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is an excellent model, and all of it completely free. So this is a huge step for students in tech, research, design, and beyond. But there's one catch: you need to apply by September 15, 2025, and the link is in description. Let's first discuss the project that we are going to do today, and let's break it down into the different like miniature steps so that you are able to understand each and every line of code, and you can easily use this knowledge in any kind of project that you are trying to make, or any kind of interviews where they ask you to make some projects, do some assignments, take home assignments, etc. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire workflow of our PowerPoint generator, from setting up the environment to generating your first presentation. So let's get started. And here's a very simple workflow graph that you are going to refer to, that we are going to refer to. So first is the start. Next thing is setting up the environment. Next thing is initializing the PPT generator. So we are going to have a class called the PPT generator that will have some methods, like one will be create title slide, one will be create content slide, one will be get the images and add the images to the slides. We are going to ask Gemini to give you the content for each slide, and we are going to ask Gemini to tell us what kind of images we also need, and we are going to use today PEXCLS, which is Pixels API, which is completely free, and you can use the API key. I'll show you. Just go on to Pixels and sign in, and then you will get your API key. We are going to use that today to generate the images and add it to our slides. It's going to be complete end-to-end thing. And next thing is like saving the presentation and downloading it, and that's the end. Very simple, very easy, and very effective. Okay, so open up your Google Colab and let's start writing code. Okay, so first thing comes is installing all the Python libraries. So definitely just do pip install Google Generative AI Python PPTX. Okay, I wanted to mention one more thing though. So basically I'll also show you how you can use ChatGPT as well in order to write certain parts of the code which are not so technical and you don't need to remember for interviews and all. So I'm going to go on ChatGPT and get all the UI things and the how to generate the presentation, the slide number, slide length, all this you don't need to know. Definitely you don't need to know. So just go on ChatGPT and then ask it. I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show every step, so don't worry about it. So this is how the ChatGPT is here to stay, definitely. And Gemini 2.5 Pro is free. So you can use everything, either Gemini 2.5 Pro or ChatGPT or whatever. Okay, PPTX, and then comes Pillow. And we will need the requests library to send requests for the APIs, and python.env. There you go. Now, while this is happening, let's start moving on to the next part of the code. So first is import OS. Why do we need OS? Basically, we are going to put in the environmental variable, that is like Gemini API key as the environmental variable. So we need the OS, and we'll also need the Pixels API key as well in order to search up the images. So let me just tell you. So this is basically Pixels API.key. You can just log in and then you can get your API key easily. Just go to this site, it'll ask you to log in and just show you your API key. Mine is blurred right now. Okay, coming back to here. So import OS, and then it's import Google generative AI as not sure, as Gen AI. Next thing is from pptx import presentation, and then comes from pptx.util. pptx.util import inches, because we are going to provide the inches and exact measurements of the entire slide, so that we are not going not going astray, not creating weird sized slides. From pptx.enum dot text, we are going to import pp align to align the text and all. Next thing is from pptx dot dml dot color, import RGB color. Yeah, this is the next thing. And we are going to import requests. And so these 5 things you don't need to remember. As you're writing the code and you're going to ChatGPT and then asking it to augment the things just to add the proper slide and proper length and width, it will do that for you. But I'm going to write it here so that you are able to know what exactly you need to do, like inches library, there's PP align, there's RGB color, you can use for other things as well. Okay. This one definitely you will need, because you need to add images to your slides. And there's import IO, input output. And then there's a from, I think you've already done that, from .env import load.env. And finally comes import JSON. Import JSON. Now definitely we are going to just do load.env to import and load all the env .env, like all the API keys. Generally we put our API keys inside .env file. It's a good design practice. So that is why the load.env, it will load all the API keys. And yeah, I think next thing we can write in the next slide. So done. Next thing comes is the class. Not sure. I think that's because I don't have any env files right now. Yeah, don't have any env files right now. That is why it's giving false. But if you have it, I'm going to add it later. So I'm going to show you how to go in Gemini and create an API key. Don't worry about it. Okay, next thing comes is the class. So whatever you do, GPT can help you here a little bit, but then you need to write the class yourself. Class PPT generator. So you basically, maybe the framework GPT can create and everything, but you need to know what exactly you're doing. Because then otherwise, for example, in jobs, when you're trying to add a feature, when you're trying to change something, when you're trying to figure out bugs, if you don't understand the code, then it's practically not useful at all. So you need to understand what you're doing and use ChatGPT, both. So def in itself, and then API key is going to be none. Next thing comes is that the API key, you're going to set the API key. API key, because I'm sending in the API key. Also, one more thing you could do is like generally use it from the ENV as well, but we are going to send it in. And then, yeah, so I'm just putting in one error statement here, which is very important, which is a good design practice as well, because this is the primary thing that we need. So if somebody forgets to provide the API key, then it will not work. Rather than giving weird errors, it will give you at the start the error, which is like API key, Gemini API key not configured. API key not there. Simple. Okay. Next thing comes is using the Gemini. So this part is important. This part is important. How to use the API key of the Gemini. So we are basically setting up the API key, and then here the API key would be equal to self dot API key. And the next thing is basically this is how you use the Gemini model, and this is how you use most models. So if you know this common format, you can do it easily. So I think this is really important for interviews, because interviews, they will ask you to use certain models and certain tasks and see how good you are at using different models and all. Okay. So Gen AI dot generative model, and we are going to use Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm going to show you how to get the API key. Okay, so let's do that. So basically just do Gemini 2.5 Pro API key. That's it. Get your Gemini API key. You just sign in and you will be able to get it very easily. So if you're a student, as I said, it's completely free. If not, there's a small price for it. But even if you don't want to use that, there's other things. For example, there's Gemini 2.5 Flash. There's There's other models as well. I'll have to check the models. Let me go to AI, Google AI Studio. Yeah, there's 2.0 Flash, there's Flash Lite, there's Gemma. All these, many of these are free. You can use any of them as you want. Yeah, this is free. Gemma 327B is free. There are many things that are free, and you can use any one of them. The API thing, entire thing would be same. Just the model name you will change here, and you will get the API key there. Okay, sounds good. Sounds easy. Now we are going to use the same model vision. I'm naming it model vision because it might be that you might find that sometimes the Gemini model or Gemma model that you're using is not very good. So you can use some other model which is image centric. One example I can think of is basically Qwen. Qwen model, which they released, Qwen 2.5 VL model, is actually very good at image recognition and image deciphering and documentation and all. So I would recommend you to go check it out. Okay, so let's move on. Gen AI dot generative model. And it's not this model that we're using, it's Gemini 2.5 Pro. This one. Okay, great. Now we have got the two models, and now we're just going to initialize the presentation. Because we are creating the presentation basically, would be equal to presentation. Presentation. Yeah. That we imported above, if you remember. Yeah. This is the one. Okay, now we have done the init one. Now the next thing that comes, as I said, the generating the content outline. So once we have the content outline, we know this is the slide, these are the informations, and we just I'm going to tell you one more thing. So when you are structuring these projects, so always start at the highest level. So highest level is what? The generating the PPT or the content outline. So once you have the outline, you can just call functions, create title slide with this content, this image, and done. And create content slide, create image slide, and so on. Once you have the content outline, these functions you can implement separately. But once you have like the content outline and you know what slide is coming up next, which function, and you know the function parameters and roughly an idea of what the function is supposed to do, you can also ask ChatGPT to write the function for you based on the other parts. So this is a very cool thing, and you use it for other projects as well. Use it for this project. It's going to come in a lot of help. Okay, now things comes is the generate content outline, and now we are going to have here self topic and then the total number of slides. So I'm going to put in a default slide as 5. You can add 6, 10, whatever you want. Okay, and here basically I am just putting in a comment. So we are generating the content outline using Gemini. Okay, now the thing that comes is prompt. Prompt is going to be okay. So I'm going to just copy paste the prompt because you can also copy paste from this notebook. I'm going to share it with you. There you go. So this is basically the prompt that I was talking about. So first is create a detailed outline for the PowerPoint presentation on the topic, on a particular topic, and next thing is the number of slides, and return the response as JSON array. So the JSON array, from the JSON array, we are going to construct the slides for us. That part we are going to do, but this is the prompt for Gemini. Okay, so this is the outline for that, and this is the JSON array. Cool. Now next thing that comes is basically we are going to write it inside the try catch block. So first thing is basically the response. So obviously we are going to send in the model, and then we are going to get the response as in generate content. Yeah, so we have the model, as I said, this model 72.5 Pro, and we are asking it to generate the content based on the prompt. Awesome. So if you understand correctly, response is going to be a JSON array, right? So we are going to have to, extract all the information from the JSON array. So response.text.strip. All the white spaces and all we are removing. Now next thing comes is basically this is a safeguard. So often Gemini returns is as /JSON, putting in the name of the language, and some other times it also provides in as in like just the triple backticks to indicate that it's going to be a JSON. So all these things we need to check for. So I'm going to check for that. So this is just a check JSON in content, yeah, JSON in content, and this is going to be content equal to, we're going to just remove the JSON part because we want just the JSON. Content dot split JSON, and then just, split the last bracket. Just also split the last triple backticks as well. That's it. So there you go, and then just the sorry, and there you go, just the strip part last. Great. Now this is done. Now the comes is, if I also said like there was another chance. What was the chance? That if just the triple backticks is appearing and not the JSON. So we need to remove that as well. Then just do content. I think you know already, content dot split. There you go. And then the next part, basically we're splitting based on this triple backtick. So whatever is before that, we can remove, we can ditch. And whatever is after that, we are taking. Therefore, this is 1. And we are just going to split. There you go. Oh, sorry, not split. We're going to strip. Yeah. There you go. To remove all the white spaces, slash and etc. Okay, fine. So now next thing comes is, if not content dot starts with this. So if the content does not start with this, as in I want it to be a JSON array, right? So what does this mean? Let me break it down. So it's going to be, suppose the number of slides is 6. So we are going to have 6 elements in the array, the JSON array, and each of them is going to be a JSON, which looks like this. So it's going to be title, and then the slide title, then content, and then the content, and the slide type, there is title, content, image, conclusion, whatever it is. Okay, so if it does not start with this, or if it does not end with actually this are all like checks that we are adding in order to ensure that our data is validated. You must have heard about validation, validating the data, which is very important. So that is what we are doing here. Okay, so if it does not end with this, then we are going to return. Then it's like done already. Then we can just return none, basically indicating that we failed. So we don't want to create anything in that case. Sounds good? Very easy. And now after this, we are going to just return JSON loads content. That's it. Return JSON. This is also again very popular. JSON loads content. There you go. And then the next thing comes is, except if there's any error, like for example, there's decode error. Sorry, there's JSON decode error. In that case, just print it. It's fine. So that you know what's happening. It's not really very important or essential. Okay, sounds good. And I think we have another try block that we need to take care of. So again, except, just catch any exception. We don't want to list the number of exceptions here, and just do print. That's it. And then forget about it. Also, I guess you can do return none, but yeah. And here also return none. I don't know. It's just, we hope that we should not ever hit it. And even if we do, we are going to print the error. So it's going to be all fine. Sounds good. Now the next thing that comes is, basically, obviously you can understand, generating these slides. So yeah, so this is the content outline. We got all the like title slide, content slide, slide type, etc. Now the next thing that we need is basically, generating the title slide, generating the content slide, generating the image slide. That's it. Yeah. So first comes is the generate image description. So this is very important to search the image that we are going to add to our slide. Because be honest, in any kind of presentation, we always do need images more than text. So we are going to self, and then basically the slide content, as we already know, and we are going to extract the image description from here. And we are going to ask Gemini only to basically give that. So basically, what are we going to say? So I'm just writing this one liner, that is why. So based on this slide content, suggest a relevant image description. Image description that would enhance the presentation. Simple things, not too difficult. Enhance the presentations, and then you basically provide the slide content. This is exactly what we do anyway, and we are just automating it right now. And this is going to be returned only a brief descriptive phrase. Because when you're searching on pixels, you're going to need the phrase. You cannot provide the entire description, entire AI generated summarizer or whatever. You just need a phrase. For example, bird, or maybe, I don't know, doctor, something like that. Okay, so suitable for image search. Max 5 words. There you go. This is done and awesome. Now the next thing comes is basically the response, and you're going to return the response. You already know what to do here, right? This one, and then content. Exact two things we are doing. Okay, so tab, yeah. Response is going to be generate content prompt, and content is going to be response.text or strip, and then just return content because we needed the phrase anyway. And I don't know, except then return none. Yeah. Return none, or maybe just return a professional presentation or whatever. Yeah. Professional presentation. Because maybe sometimes the image generation might not work. We don't want our app to fail in that case. We can still print the text thing. Okay, let's go. Next thing comes is downloading the image. As I said, go to pixels. Yeah, and go to this one, API key, and you will get the API key. Okay. So download image is going to be self, and then the query. We're just basically making the call to the pixels and getting the image. Nothing else here. You can also ask ChatGPT to write it, but I would suggest this is going to be very common. So, know how to do this stuff. Temp image.jpg. There you go. Next thing comes is my URL. URL is going to be the pixels URL. So I'm just going to copy paste here. Yeah. There you go. This is the URL that I copy pasted. And the next thing is very simple, the headers, where you're going to provide the API key. You can also put it into an env folder or whatever you want. But yeah, so this is basically the way it's done. Params we don't need. For authorization, here we are going to provide, here you are going to provide the API key. Okay. Just provide the API key here. And now the headers is done. And now the next thing comes is the parameters. So the params is going to be, okay, query is going to be the query, this one query. And per page one, yeah, I mean, it's fine. And the orientation is going to be landscape. It depends upon you what you want. Portrait as well works, but I'm going to go with landscape. And next thing comes is the response. So if you don't know this is why I'm saying. So if you give everything ChatGPT to do, you have only a fixed number of prompts in a day. So, and apart from that, it's expensive if you try to get the paid version. And there also you have late limits. So I would say, like, these are very simple things. How to, make an API call, how to download an image, how to use it, how to make a workflow and then create the classes. These are all very simple things, and just, get acquainted with it, get used to it. So then things will become very easy. The response is going to be request.get and request.get URL headers and params. And response would be raised for status. You know what? Let me just tell you one thing that happened with us in our office. So basically, our office sometimes ask us in meetings as to what does this do? What did you learn from the project? Did you learn something? Are you just using ChatGPT? So these are all very important and very, very points that I'm trying to make, In interviews, they'll also ask, have you all done your projects with ChatGPT? Did you learn anything? Did you actually know something, or did you just copy paste? So why should we hire you? So these are few of the questions that are getting asked in interviews right now. And people are asking you to just use LLMs and do whatever you want, but you have to understand the basic thing. If you're just blindly, writing on ChatGPT and copy pasting, then that makes no sense. That is why I'm saying these projects are so very important. You need to learn how to write, do API calls, download images, write presentations, call models, make LLM calls, write summarizers, etc. etc. All these are so important. Okay, so enough. Let's start. Let's continue our code. And while we are at it, I would also like to bring attention to educative.io, which is a pretty popular website that sells many kinds of courses. I personally love most the system design courses here. I have gone through the modern system design interview, machine learning system design, product architecture interview, and all. So I always try to get, be acquainted with the latest styles through this generative AI system design, this agentic system design. These kind of things are often a part of how we do our jobs or maybe in interviews. These all come in very use. And there's also a discount right now. So, definitely check it out if you're into learning courses and while you're, preparing for interviews and all. Okay, so this one comes raise for status. And then the next thing is very easy. So data equal to response.json. Response.json. And obviously, if we did not get any photo, then what can we do anyway? If not data.get photo, then just, raise error head, I don't know, value error, no photos found. Yeah. And otherwise, we are going to use the image URL and then download it. So image URL is going to be data photos. Okay, data photos. And then the first one is 0, and then src, and then the original one. That's just the way the API call is being made, and this is the response. And let me see. So the image response is going to be request.get image URL, obviously. And image response, we are going to raise for status. Basically, if it's not 200, then we are going to raise an error. If it's 400, it's not. It's 404, it's not found. Okay. Next thing comes is basically we are writing the image and downloading the image, and that's it, I guess. Yeah. And then we return in the save path. And I think it was inside a try catch. Yeah. So except exception E, and yeah, so it would be returned null. Or what you can do is also, sometimes I would say images are not like bare necessity of a PPT. So therefore, I would say like, try to fall back to a placeholder basically. So image would be equal to, I don't know, just make anything. Oh, you know what? Let's take the risk. Let's see what happens. I don't think there should be any error. Just do printy and return null. Let's see. It should not fail at all. Okay. Now comes the title slide. Create title slide. This is going to be self.title. Obviously, we're going to provide this title and the subtitle as well. So subtitle, you can provide created by your name. Like for example, I would do created by Sreemanti. Whatever, like if you want the subtitle of the title slide, right? So here basically this is very simple. And the slide layout, we are going to provide the layout, first layout. And the slide is basically, we are adding a slide with the slide layout. Nothing much. And title shape is going to be slide shape. So title text is going to be the title. And what else? I think the frames, paragraphs, the font size, you can provide whatever font size you want. I want the title to be a bit bigger, but whatever, you can provide it as smaller as well. 30 and can be bold. These are all very simple things. You can use ChatGPT for this. I'm not going to go into detail. So yeah, definitely do center align and RGB color. Yeah, I mean, black sounds good. There you go. Nothing much. And if there's subtitle, then you're going to provide the subtitle. Same thing exact. Placeholders 1, obviously. And the text is going to be the subtitle. The frame is going to be font size is going to be 20, whatever you want. And the text frame alignment, I think we'll need. Let's hope, yeah. RGB, it can be black. And the alignment is center. There you go. Done, very easy. Yeah, these things you use ChatGPT, but not the core things. That is what I'm saying. So create. Next thing comes is creating the content slide, each content slide. Yeah. So again, same thing. Slide layout is going to be the first one, and then the slide is the basically creating based on slide layout. And title is going to be title. And then the text frameworks, obviously paragraph. bold, and then the content shape is going to be, yeah, there you go. Content shape and then content text. All this. First is the title, then the content. Very simple. Basically, the PPTX library does a great deal of this task. There are so many libraries that are so useful. So I would recommend using all of them and getting acquainted with them. So that if someone has presentation, what should we do in our company? Say PPTX is an amazing option. There you go. It guarantees a promotion. Okay. So next thing comes is the text frame. Yeah, text frame. So text frame is going to be the context shape dot text frame. And for the paragraph, for each paragraph, the font size is going to be whatever you want. And the RGB your color, whatever you want. It's fun, right? See, it's all similar. There's all a pattern. And if there's include image, obviously in the title slide, I did not add include image. But if we do have include image, then yeah, I forgot one thing. Here we should have include image. Otherwise, how do we know? And by default is going to be false. And if there's include image, we are going to include the image. So obviously, guess what we're going to do? We're going to get the image description, then we're going to download the image, and then we're going to use it in insert it. There you go, very simple. So let's do it inside try catch because there are so many things that could go wrong. And we want to know the error that's happening. This is also another good decision using try catch. Okay. Generate image description. Yeah. Generate image description content. And then the image path is basically downloading the image from the image description. And if the image path and exists, and obviously also do check this, if os.path.exists, image path, image path, then what you're going to do is just, add picture to the slide. That's it, nothing else. So slide dot shapes dot add picture. Very simple. PPT, you are inserting a picture, adding a picture, same thing. Yeah. Image path and inches, whatever you want. It's the landscape image. So 6:2. And the height can be 4, I don't know. Yeah. And this would be just like os dot remove the image path because we don't want the image path at all. Sorry, I think it's going to be image path. There you go. And the exception is E and then print E. Yeah, simple. And then basically after all of this, the slide is ready. So return slide. As simple as that. Okay. Return slide. Very easy. Now the next thing this comes is just one thing. Okay, so two things. Create conclusion slide and the other one is create image slide. Okay. This seems very easy as well. Yeah. Just do tab. And with Google Colab Pro, you're going to do tab all the time. So select title, image path, sorry. It would be image query because we don't have the image yet. There you go. Now the content box is coming out. So these are all the different text boxes that you make basically. Nothing much serious, but pretty cool nonetheless. So slide shape start, add text box. And we're going to have inches, some inches, I don't know. Let's reduce it. 0.5 and then 2 and then this can be 4 and this can be 5. Fine. And content frame is text frame and then content frame dot text is going to be the content obviously. There you go. And next thing comes is basically, decorating it so that it looks nice because it's a slide after all. For paragraph in content frame dot paragraphs, they're going to put the font size and the RGB color. Color, we can put something else. Maybe let's say, I don't know. This is just a color that came to my mind. Okay. Now comes the image thing. So image path is going to be, they're going to download the image. And if the image path and the path exists, basically just add the picture. You already know, I already added picture here. So just reuse it, same thing. Add the picture. And this is going to be like, I don't know, 5 to 4, whatever it is. And they're going to do os.remove the image path. And accept exception as E. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention is Notegpt, which is like a pretty popular product right now. It actually helps you to create, summarizers for YouTube videos. You can add it like free extension. It also is available as a Chrome extension, which you can add it for free to your to any kind of notes that you're studying or any kind of AI ML YouTube videos in order to, if you want to summarize that, if you want to transcribe that in a particular language, all these like you can easily do. And also for notes, if you're trying to get notes, if you're trying to, upload and drag a PDF here and it'll ask you to summarize it, you can chat with it, very easy, everything together, like AI math and homework if you're trying to solve maths, because in machine learning you need a lot of maths, so you can ask GPT, Note GPT, to help you with the maths as well. There's also flashcards that you can use and many things. So, link is in description. Do check it out. Okay. So now we're going to just return the slide. There you go. Let me just check. Yeah. Just return the slide. And we have just one more function left, which is the generate presentation finally. And there you go. It should be fine. So let's do that. Generate presentation. You can add different kinds of slides as well. Conclusion slide, I don't know, topic slide, etc., etc. But it's all going to be the same. So topic and the num slides is going to be 5. I don't know. And the output path can be presentation.pptx. It's up to you. And okay, so let's see. First is definitely generating the content outline. As I showed you the workflow, if you remember, the content outline. So first is the content outline. And we're going to generate the content outline. And next thing comes is for I, slide data in enumerate content outline. So first thing is basically we are going to check whether it's title slide, content slide, image slide, etc. So if it's like a title slide, I mean, we don't even need that. So we can just directly get the title from the slide data title, and content, we can get it from the content. Okay, so if you remember correctly, let's go back. Yeah, see, so this is the like generate outline. If you remember, it gives us in the form of this JSON array, which is like a list of these JSONs, right? So we are extracting the title, the content, and the slide type. There you go, very simple. So we got the title slide. Okay, I'm sorry, not this one. We got the title, then we got the content, then we got the slide type. So now we are going to basically create the slide. So let's print one thing, creating slide I+1. I think you know why I'm doing I+1. Why? Because it's 0 indexed. Okay. So I+1. And then, so if basically it's 0 or my slide type is title, then it's going to be self.create title slide, which is going to be the title. And you can, if you remember, the create title slide had 2 arguments. One was the title and the other one was subtitle. So subtitle you can provide as created by your name. Sorry, Sreemanti. So created by Sreemanti. And then the next thing comes is if it's content, then we're going to create the content slide. And if it's image, then we're going to create the image slide. So, but then in image slide, we basically need the image description. Let me check what we had. Image query, exactly. So for this, we are going to need the image description. If you remember, we created one, yeah, generate image description from the slide content, right? Got to know? So we are going to get the image description or image query, whatever you call it, from self.generate image description, the content here. And then we are going to create the image slide using the title, content, and the image query. Very simple, very easy. And I think the content slide as well, or if there's any other type like conclusion, etc. I'm not creating a different thing for that. Okay. Yeah, so just do else. Else, we are going to create a content slide. Yeah, title, content, and I don't know, include image. So include image, we can always keep it as true. Or what we can do, one thing is that it can be like every third slide is basically having the image. That's also one thing. Every page having image might not look good. So just do this. There you go. So we have include image and done. Now it's just going to be saving the, I think, yeah, this one is going to be saved. The output file. Sorry, I think it's not going to be output file. Asha, okay. So we had it output file, so it's fine. So output file and save to output file. There you go. And we are just going to return the output file. Perfect. And just print that generation completed. Generation done. Finally. Let me just check one thing. Yeah, I think this, yeah, correct. So this should be outside the class. There you go. Fine, done, perfect. Now it's very simple, very, very, very easy. Not generation done, it should be generation initialized, right? Because it's just the class. Cool, whatever. And now simply just get the API key. As I said, go inside this, get a Gemini API key, just log in and you will get the API key. Very simple. And API key, I'm going to provide my API key here, not writing it right now. Before running, I'm going to provide it. And if API key, then, I mean, it's up to you. So yeah, it's fine. We have got the API key here. And now the next thing is basically just calling it. So let's do that. And you're going to have the generator as PPT generator. And it's going to be API, sorry, API key equal to API key. There you go. And next thing comes is accept value error as E. And basically just print E. It's fine. Yeah, obviously it's not there. Okay. So after this is done, we just need to call the generator. Okay. So now we have initialized the generator. Awesome. Great. Provided the API key, run this. And just the part that is left is deciding a topic and then running it with the topic. So I don't know, let's decide on artificial intelligence in healthcare. Healthcare, and the number of slides we are going to decide is going to be 6. Okay. So now the try catch block is going to be very simple. Just provide the output file is going to be generator dot generate. Remember, we just now wrote it, generate presentation, and the topic is going to be there, and the number of slides is going to be there, and the output file is going to be AI healthcare.pptx. There you go. And it's done. Just do accept exception as E and then print. There you go. I also added a few more descriptive sentences like generating presentation on and all this. I'll share the notebook with you, so it should be fine. And let's see what it generates. Should be good. So generate presentation on, and next thing is creating the slides with the slide numbers. There you go. Creating slide 1. Slide 2 is AI in healthcare. Slide 3 is key applications from diagnosis to drug discovery. Next thing is major benefits and advantages. And done. Presentation saved as AI healthcare presentation.pptx. So let's download this. There you go, done. Let's see what it looks like. This is the one. Nice. So this could have been a bit better, I guess. Yeah, there you go. These things you can change easily as well. Wow, see? Definition, core, values, computer vision. You can change anything. You can edit it, whatever you want. Perfect. There you go. Amazing picture. Nice. Diagnosis to drug discovery. It went on pixels and got the picture. And these are major benefits and advantages. Obviously, the picture is here as well. And there are hurdles to overcome. Future of AI in medicine and conclusion. So there you go. This was awesome project and very beginner friendly, very easy to understand. And I would bet that you would enjoy it. And if you add it to your resume as well, it's going to be helpful so much. And it's very easy to understand as well. All in all, a game changer. So let me know what you think. If you like this video, do like and subscribe for more. Okay, thanks. Bye.